Will you press go when crypto hits an all-time low? Will you make some FU money? Would you like to learn my exact 100x strategy for the coming bull market? What exact allocations am I putting in to assets in order to ensure I make 100x of my entire portfolio, make incredible retirement money, but not only for me, but for anybody that is connected to me? My entire family will never have to work again because of the amount I plan to make in the very near term. I'm not talking about months or a year, but I am talking about the next 5 to 6 years. It's not a lot of time. Investing in a bear market is the absolute most effective strategy to make life-changing money. I have done it plentiful amounts of time. To me, crypto is a cash multiplication printer. I started when I had virtually no money in 2017. I had a mere $3,000 in my bank. I put $2,000 into one asset and I have turned it at the peak of the last bull market into $12 million, and I plan on turning it into a much higher, much more gargantuan figure by the end of the next bull market period. And this is the most generational time to buy. So, if you want to know more, then my name is the Suppoman, your superhero of cryptocurrency. On Twitch, I plan to be the biggest crypto twitcher. And that doesn't mean birdwatcher in Twitchland. I plan to have the best team of Team Suppo, the best community on Twitch and all of social media. So if you want to be part of that, make sure that you download the Twitch app and follow me or subscribe to me. That is the most effective way of being able to do the best from the Suppoman. So you just go to me on Twitch, make sure you follow or subscribe. I'm going to be making concerted efforts on Twitch. The reason why is because Twitch is more geared towards live streaming. During a bear market, I do live streaming. In a bull market, I'll probably do more concentrated 10 to 15 minute videos where I talk about would you like to learn 100x potential altcoins? But during this period, I do live streams and Twitch is best for live streams. So make sure you follow me on Twitch. Now, let's get started. Let me just make sure that I am live and everything. Do my quick censor checks. It looks as if I am live. So now what I need to do is I need to tweet out, send it out on YouTube. For some unknown reason, I don't think that the notifications are working so well on Twitch, but let me just find out. I think they actually are. I think Twitch is just a little bit slow to get the exact numbers. So it looks as if I'm live. Who have we got in the house first? Well, we got Demon Sa. We got James B25. We got Lindsay. We got Make the Gains. We got Man Mojo, Violet ASCII, Boop Wap, Crypto Jim, Aman, Dijance. Good to see you guys, and just say hi as you arrive in. Now, I am living proof. I'm not a Bybit shiller. I do not do long and shorting. I don't do leverage trading. All of my money has been investing in long-term cryptocurrencies. No sponsored videos. I never do sponsored videos. I don't get paid like a lot of YouTubers or crypto Twitterers do. Everything has been investing my own money into cryptocurrency and making violent gains since 2017. And I'm going to show you exactly my proof of work, as it were. If you watched me back in 2019, I brought you Matic when it was less than half a cent. It got to $3 in the last bull run. So that essentially went up near 100x just from this point alone. Hex, I brought you at 0.3 of a cent, a third of a cent. Hex ended up going to 50 cents or thereabouts. And if you watch this video all the way back from November 2020, then you will see that I not recommended, because I don't want anything I produce to be taken as financial advice, but I want it to just be here as a journal for what I have done in cryptocurrency. What I said was to invest the quantity, because I was building a $5,000, if you wanted to build a $5,000 portfolio, how to allocate that money for the coming bull period, which existed between the end of 2020 through to the end of 2021. And Solana, as you can see, went from 180 and it went to $300. I predicted it would do a 75x from $1.80. It actually outperformed. Now, Sushi at Uniswap actually went to $50, DOT went to $45, Ethereum went to $5,000, Bitcoin had the least of gains. Hence why Bitcoin doesn't feature in cryptocurrencies I am looking to invest in. I've got my Bitcoin stash, I'm never touching it, but I'm never adding to it either. At least not anytime soon. Alright, so everything is all in altcoins. I'm going to be showing you the exact amounts I'm looking to put in per asset. All right, so I've been showing you the optimal buy-in prices, but how much am I looking to put into each asset? And I'm going to be showing you as a percentage terms as well, because there are 3 classifications of cryptocurrencies that I'm going to be putting my money into in order to make 100x. But all you can see, all of these videos, these 3 videos were all produced during a bear market. And I've just taken you through how they have gone on to make seismic gains from the point. Even just talking about Hex. Hex for 1/3 of a cent, it then went to 3 cents, it then exceeded 30 cents. It was more than 100x. So, if we look at today, because this is where we're going to start off, if we have a look at where we are today, basically we are in a dwindling market. Right now, it's very uncertain, but that is only the day-to-day picture. I think we are going to look across this period in our lives in the future as one of the most life-changing, transformative, generational changes ever in cryptocurrency. We can't see it in the day-to-day because at the moment everybody's like, has the bottom been hit? Has it not been hit? My personal opinion is that we have got a long way to go in terms of the bottom being hit. I think we're most of the way there. You know, most of the crash has happened for Bitcoin anyway. You know, it's gone from 70,000 to 20,000. The majority has happened. It's not going to go down. You know, it's not going to go down 6x from here. All right, so or 4x from here. You know, I don't think so anyway. Could never know. I don't predict it's going to go down that far. However, it's at this point in the very uncertain times, which is where altcoins are going to be decimated. All right, and we are seeing the repercussions happening day by day. Many narratives happening at the moment. You know, again, this is just the day to day. All right, you know, you can look back on this video in a month's time, and more will have happened from this point. Okay, the pound is tanking because of emergency hikes. The British pound's at an all-time low, a massive all-time low. Tax cuts not seen in Britain since 1972, and a return of the trickle-down economics promoted by the likes of Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher. And we have got a emergency intervention happening after the pound slumps to an all-time low. Most of these are bolstering the dollar. The dollar's absolutely shooting up right now. It has reached a high of 114.38. Right now we're on 113.87. Most of the markets have reflected this except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin at the moment is still managing to stay within this compression, which hasn't fallen down below it. But I do foresee that it is at some point going to test potentially this, but certainly this. This is about 14,000. This is 12,000. I do foresee the prices are going to go down much more over the coming months. We could be seeing 12K in December, January. I personally believe that that is the case. We are likely to see a bottoming period in that period. Look, last time during a bear market, the last time it happened was a year from when we peaked, and it was around about December, January time of the following year, 2018, 2019, we saw the absolute low. The market went from 830 billion all the way down to 100 billion. Lost so much value, and altcoins were so decimated in that time. But you will see that these videos, you know, this one in particular, I brought out on Matic, was in around about April 2019. This one was just before everything took off in 2020, and this one took off. This was just before everything took off again in the end of 2020. All right, so we are in a period now. I think we are going to be reaching bottoming areas soon. You know, I think that, you know, quantitative tightening is incredibly hard right now. Everywhere, globally, where the likelihood of a global recession is almost a given now. Absolutely almost a given. You know, not only was the US suffering, now everywhere's suffering. All countries, all continents are suffering. And I think 2023, we're just going to see further. And the difference is that in previous, you know, economical hardships, the Fed would come along, print more money, everything would go back up again. But they are not going to be printing money for over a year now. I wouldn't have thought. The reason being is because inflation is so high, they want to get down to 2%, and we're at 8.3% at this time, inflation rate. The chances of going down to 2% within a year is 0. Therefore, the chance of, you know, money being pumped into the market, quantitative easing, is 0. However, there is potential in that time for there to be a bottoming and just a sideways market for a long time. But I personally think that the worst is to come over the next few months. Over the next, you know, now we're now in autumn. Over the next 5 to 6 months, I think we're going to see the lion's share of the damage done. And then it's going to be sideways. And then we're going to be going into a bull market. And it's going to be at this period when things hit its absolute low that I'm going to be investing. So, before I move on to all the good stuff, let me just chat to you guys. And look, it's surging right now. It is the dollar, the Dixie is surging. All right, let's have a look and see what you guys are saying. The new subscriber notification is slightly annoying. Trying to focus on your guidelines. Is it possible to remove it? I don't know what the notification is. Hello, Caviar. Let's see who's in the house. So Adamski, Caviar and Crypto, Dijan C, Sky No Limit, Living the Crypto Dream, Monique, Chmor Kakos, Nissan GTR is great, Entropy.co is now following, Frenchie, Julian Tapia, Patrick Stock, Wanye West, Decav, Decav, Bitcoin Satoshi, W7700, paying Twitch for a monthly sub just for you. Thank you. I love that. Thank you very much. Love your videos. I followed you since I got into crypto. You love sitting down at the end of the day and watch a Suppo video. Yeah, I mean, that's what I love doing. I love watching, you know, my kind of favorite creators. I don't really have any right now, but I do like to watch, you know, Jerry Banfield's probably my favorite. He's on Twitch. But I'd probably watch something that he says because it's just quite fun, I think. It's good just to listen, you know? And you can always rack up the speed of the stream afterwards to 2x, so you can watch it in half the time. What happened to GBP today? Well, it's ever since the Bank of England hiked up the funds rate. It's having a massively negative effect on the euro as well. So let's have a look at the euro quickly. So the euro, if you remember, last week was all the way up here, and now it's absolutely been decimated along with the British pound. All of this bolstering up the dollar. Okay, and I think that this is going to continue for some time. Hi Suppo, it's Tonya from the UAE. Nice. Good to see you here. Antosco Babe. Sparkling iced tea. It was kind of written in the fundamentals of the algorithm. Just needs someone with enough dollars to attack. Pound is getting pounded. Yes, it is. Kaiwa Karora. Good to see you. Real Crypto Fly. I'm glad you all turned up. Rune your thoughts. I haven't really looked properly into Rune. There's only so much research one can do. An image blah 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 is following, popping. Oh no. That stays. It's got to stay. That is part of the Twitch experience. But it only lasts about 5 seconds. Stream every day, Suppo. I do plan to. Hence why not being on YouTube, being only on YouTube and not being on Twitch, will actually set you back. Hence why I want to. Are you going to do your classic gaming streams? I don't think I will be. Only probably next year if things get, really bad. Right. Okay. So I think that I am going to move on, essentially. So what we are seeing right now is essentially the playing out of a incredibly negative and likely to get much worse economy, leading into a recession where it gets, I think, the pinnacle of the fear, which I think is going to be experienced. So it leaves for me now to bring to you my investment strategy. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this as far as my allocation by percentage. So I'm going to be showing you what types of cryptocurrency I am going to be investing my money into, or the lion's share of my money. And then I'm going to be giving you exact figures via my spreadsheet. All right, so the spreadsheet you've been watching, I'm going to be giving you exact figures to show you really how it will become 9 figures. 9 figures. Now, you could obviously use it as a derivative for yourself. So if I'm investing $1 million, you can, basically divide that by 10 if you're investing 100,000, or by 100 if you're investing 10,000, or less than that even. Even 1,000. It works either way. All right. So what am I going to be investing into? So first things first, I'm going to be buying top 10s at generationally lowest prices, percentage drops. Okay, so we're not going to be seeing Ethereum at $100 or $50 or $90 like we saw in 2018, when Ethereum went from $1,200 down to under $100 in December 2018. We're not going to be seeing we're not going to be seeing lows from that perspective, but we are going to be seeing generationally low price percentage drops. So from the peak down to the bottom, I think is going to be the biggest chasm ever seen, and therefore the opportunity to invest in the best ever prices ever seen, considering where they were and seeing what they dropped down to, and you're investing in essentially the same asset as it was at the top. It's the same thing. The difference is the macro picture, an illusion that's been built around it that has essentially decimated the price action, but the asset fundamentally is just as good, if not better, because they've been building over this last year that we've been in a bear market. So I'm going to be putting 50%. This is something unheard of in my particular investment strategy. I am typically the altcoin king, the small or micro cap altcoin king. But, investing in altcoins at the bottom, or potential bottom, which could come in the next, kind of 6 months, I think is risky, because we have a sideways market for a year, like it is, some may not still be relevant in 2024. So the lion's share of my money is going into assets that are going to survive long term, i.e., multiple cycles. Not just going to last one cycle, it's going to last multiple cycles. So I'm going to be buying top 10s. 50% of my allocation is going into top 10s. And that gives you an indication of how dramatically they've dropped. So these are going to be Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, Polkadot. I've already got $250,000 invested in Cardano. I'm probably not going to add to it because I bought that at about 3 cents. So it was between 1.8 and 3 cents. There's no real need to buy any more. So that kind of comes into the 50%. So essentially it's going to be about 40% is going to go into these, and the other 10% is Cardano. Because Cardano, for me, I see it as being one of the big powerhouses. One of the big powerhouses, possibly being in the top 3 of the future. All right. So anyway, the top 10s that I'm going to be buying new are Ethereum, Binance Smart or BNB, Solana, and Polkadot. And these are going to comprise of pretty hefty investments, which you're going to see very shortly. Then the second biggest area that I'm going to be investing money in is the top 10. No, is the top 10 to 50. So not within the top 10, but from 10 to 50. And these are also going to be at generationally lowest ever percentage price drops. Okay, so we're going to be seeing 100, 110% possibly by the bottom. So currently some are 95%, some are 98%. They're probably going to exceed that. So I'm going to be putting in 28% of my total allocation. So think of this as if it was 100k or 10k, 50% would be in the top 10s. So if it was 10k, 5,000 would be in the top 10s, 2,800 would be in the 10 to 50 category. And these consist of Ethereum Classic, FTX Exchange, Kronos, NEAR, Elrond, Decentraland, the Sandbox, and Altcoin. Okay, so I am essentially going to be investing in all of these. And then the last one, which is where you're going to be happy, I'm sure, is going to be the low caps. And this is going to be 22% of my portfolio. So think of it as, if it's $10,000 portfolio, then it's essentially $2,200. If it's $1 million portfolio, it's $220,000. So my low caps are going to consist of Cardano, Moonbeam, Gala, Moonriver, Optimism, and Mina. These are going to be my key plays. All right. So this is where my money is going to go into, and these are the percentage allocations of these three particular sectors. Now, traditionally, it would normally be the reverse of this. So it would normally be buy low caps 50%, and then the rest would be, and then, top 10s would actually be the 22%. And then in the middle would still stay the 10 to 50 range. Now, the reason why it's not that is two reasons. Number one, I am preparing for a quite long bear market. That means that over the course of time, low market cap cryptocurrencies pose the highest risk. In a high risk region that 2023 is going to be, they may not exit. Microcaps in the main, low to microcaps in the main, are not going to exit being well known. All right? And some of them may not be relevant. Some may never even touch their all-time high or their relevance again. So you've got to be very careful when you've got a prolonged bear market. You've got to keep building, got to keep messaging. All of this kind of stuff is the responsibility of the cryptocurrency to keep delivering on price or keep the token relevant until bullishness comes back. So in the absence of having a crystal ball, one can't actually know what's going to survive and what's not going to survive. Therefore, I'm putting less of my allocation in these and more of my allocation in the top 10s. And the reason why is because I know that these particular top 10s are going to last not just one bull cycle, 2 bull cycles, if not 3. Ethereum will last 5 or 6. And the rest of them, I imagine, will probably last at least 3. That means that I can hold on to these for probably about 10 years. But I think only in 6 years will I need to hold on to these. Because I think that the money flow will be concentrated so hard in the top 10s because the new people coming into cryptocurrency and the adoption rate that cryptocurrency will get means that the lion's share of money flow is going to go into top 10s. And they are being eroded so much to inexplicable prices right now that actually you're just going to be able to make generational wealth just with elite assets with very little risk. And that is why I am very, very interested in these. But you've got to make room for the low caps. Obviously, Hex, Matic were micro caps when I first covered them. And although Solana was actually just outside the top 100 when I first covered it. It wasn't a micro cap as such. But I think this is the difference between this bear market and other bear markets, where I personally believe that we're moving into a zone where you'll never see these prices again. So buying into the top 10s is really the last chance, in my opinion, to ever get the top 10s at these prices. And the top 10 to 50 at these prices will be the last chance ever. Because even when we have bear markets in the future, the price will never come down to this extent, because I doubt we'll ever see the economy we have had, because this is a once in a generation kind of economy right now. The most recent was back in the 80s, before I was even born. All right, like 1980. I wasn't even born in 1981 when we saw, the Fed funds rate was higher than the inflation rate. So, so anyway, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to literally buy the best prices. So with that in mind, I am now going to move on to the, the allocations, okay? So I've blanked them all out because I don't want to just blow my load at once, essentially. As fun as that may be. Is that fun? I don't know if it is fun. But anyway, yes. So this is how it's going to be presented, all right? So the optimal buy-in price, and this optimal buy-in price, particularly for Ethereum, could actually serve as the dollar cost average price, because I'm planning on buying some a little bit higher than 650. I'm planning on buying maybe some at 800, and I'll probably be buying some at 500, therefore bringing my optimal buy-in price to about 650. So I personally predict that come the next bull run, because of the deflationary mechanism that Ethereum has, it's got a much better and steeper price rise than it's had in the past. So in the past bear market, and with the past adoption curve that cryptocurrency had, Ethereum went from $100 to $5,000 or 4,000 something, $4,800. So that had a dramatic fall, like near 50x, and that was with still 2% of the world actually adopting cryptocurrency. So I think that now it's deflationary compared to how Ethereum was back then. It's got an even better price appreciation curve. And it could reach $25,000. If it doesn't reach it in one cycle, it will definitely reach it at some point either way. So the gains potential is 38x from my optimal buy-in price. The amount I'll invest in Ethereum is going to be 50,000. It might be more, but given that the gains is only 38 for 25,000, I'm probably going to only invest 50,000 in it. It sounds like probably a PUSSY move, but I'm probably going to only invest 50,000. I was planning on investing 100,000, but given how many assets I want to buy, I think that, I think that's probably a bit much. Now, let me just show, and obviously the cash out then, based on those gains, would be 1.92 million, which is not huge, but I'm expecting really, really good return on investments from my other assets, right? Now, this is the sum total of how much I'll invest. So this does not need to apply to you. So if you're thinking, I haven't got $975,000, well, this isn't applicable to me. Essentially, it is applicable to you. So you can divide that by 10, by 100, by 1,000. Okay, so if you've got 975, it's still the same thing, right? You still make the same kind of return. If it's 9,750, if it's 97,000, this is what I'm projecting. Anyway, again, not financial advice. This is what I'm projecting. So turning less than $1 million into 104 million. That's insane. And given that 50% is in large caps, then it's almost no risk to get half of this. No risk to get half of that 100 million from $1 million invested. So if you have got 9,700 invested, then it would be 104,000, I'm guessing. No, it wouldn't, would it? Would it be that? Yeah. 104,000. 9,000, yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Does that sound about right? 97,000 would be 10 million. 9.7 would be, oh no, it would be 1 million. So 9.7k would be 1.04 million, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right now. Yeah, I thought that was a bit low. 9.7 thousand turning into only 100. Yeah, that'd only be 10x. So anyway, yeah, so this can be, you can use this as a derivative figure of what you are looking to invest in yourself. All right? So anyway, so that is what I'm planning on making. 100 million. So last time I turned, I think it was 500,000. I think I had total invested, but that involved some shitcoins that never found their all-time high. And that 500,000 went to 12 million. This time I'm having a complete rehash of my portfolio to turn it into this essentially. So next up, I am going to need the format bar now. Next up, we've got Solana. All right, so Solana, I imagine, is probably going to have one of the heftiest gains in the next period. Because I think that, kind of first few markets, I think it was Bitcoin, then Ethereum came into focus, and that did really well in 2017. When it went down in 2018-19, the focus was on Ethereum as the next big network to Bitcoin. Now Ethereum has achieved a level of maturity in that level. Like, it's got tons of developers already. The adoption curve's quite high. Many projects are built on it. Many NFTs are built on it. It's gone to expose Ethereum for the weaknesses it has, but Ethereum's going to evolve as an ecosystem. Hence why 50,000 is pretty nicely invested. So in Solana, I think Solana is basically last cycle's Ethereum, and it's going to have the bigger gains this time. So I plan to buy Solana hopefully at $10. Now it's at $30. You wouldn't think it's going to go down to $10, but I think that it's going to go down heavily. And I'm going to start buying at 15. If it goes down to 10, then I will put in 100,000. Okay? Now I personally believe, well, Solana hit 300 last time, and I think that Solana has so much potential for the future. It's really developing as an ecosystem. Helium's moving over to Solana. The Solana NFTs have been thriving. And I think next time round, we could be seeing something happening with Solana. Ethereum was initially proof of work. It then went on to being proof of stake. Solana is currently infinitely inflationary. It may change that at some point. It's an ever-changing market. And the lower you get into Solana, the more you can just literally free ride it forever. It'll never go down to $10 again. If it hits $10, it'll never go down to it again. It is ambitious, but I do think that these prices are going to hit. So anyway, I will put 100,000 into it. I expect at 125x, if not in one cycle, then in 2 cycles, and my cash out would be 12.5 million. Seems a little bit, considering that this is what Sam Bankman-Fried put into Solana at around about this price before the last bear market. This could actually be improved. I do already hold quite a lot of Solana, but I plan on adding a whole 100,000 into that. So this is what I project is what I'll make from it. Next up, we have got Binance Coin. You will know all of the gains, but you don't necessarily know how much I'm planning on putting in. So for Binance Coin, I'm going to be putting in $50,000. Now, I actually had about 300,000 in Binance, which I sold at 270-ish, I would say. I'm not looking to re-enter at the same amount, even though I imagine the gains will be better because of all the new cryptocurrencies I've come to love during this bear market period. So I'm going to put in 50,000. That would then give me $4.7 million if the buy-in price is hit. Now, currently, it's very stubborn, very difficult to hit. I'm not entirely sure it will be hit, but you never know. So anyway, yeah, so I am going to be hoping for $85. I think it could hit. And then the bull prediction will be 8,000. Now, this is, like I said, Binance is the number one exchange. It's the number one exchange in cryptocurrency. It offers leverage trades, it offers spot trading, offers everything, really. So it's almost as if you don't really need another exchange, except to trade shitcoins like Gate or something. But you don't really need another exchange. Binance is only going to increase in usership. It's deflationary. They do their buyback and burns. They've just only today implemented a Terra Classic burn rate. So they're going to start burning Terra Classic. That brings more users into the Binance ecosystem because they're always doing things. They've always been very, very good at game theory. They're very good at understanding what gets people to sign up to their exchange. So over the course of time, as there's more adoption in cryptocurrency, remember, there's only 2% real worldwide penetration of cryptocurrency. When that goes to more 30%, Binance is going to get such an incredible amount of users. Binance Smart Chain assets are going to have an incredible amount of adoption, which means that I don't think 8,000 is actually too difficult to achieve, because I foresee that Binance is going to have the same kind of trajectory that Ethereum had last time round. Okay, so if Binance went to $700, that's just a little bit less than what Ethereum hit in 2018. Ethereum went to 1,200 down to 100. So Binance go from 750 down to 85, and then go up in the next one a little bit more to 8,000 because they're deflationary, whereas Ethereum was not deflationary. It had at that time 4+% inflationary. So Binance has better price appreciation capabilities. This may be a little bit ambitious for one cycle, but I think it will definitely get achieved in 2 cycles at least. Then we have got Cardano. Cardano is a position I've kind of already got. So the position that I will have already is this one. All right, so I am imagining it's just going to turn my position into 18 million. All right, so having done the calculations of where I am right now, this is basically pretty much how much I'll have at that point, and that will turn it into this figure here. Then we have got Polkadot, and this will conclude the top 10s that I am buying. So Polkadot, I imagine, has not yet had its real bull run. I don't think it's been appreciated. And seeing how Cosmos has very recently shot up being virtually the same asset as Polkadot, yet Polkadot has never really truly had its run. I do see Polkadot coming down to below its 2020 buy-in price. I think it's going to come down to about $2. Hey Murdoch, good to see you. So anyway, yeah, so Polkadot I think is going to go down to lower than I bought it at. So I bought it at $3.30, $3.50 back in 2019. And I think it's going to go a little bit lower than that to possibly $2 because it's at $6 now. So I can see it losing another, 2/3 of its value. Then I foresee that over the coming period, because Polkadot has got arguably the second most amount of developers to Ethereum. It's got the most VCs compared to, in fact, it's probably got the most VCs of any asset in the top 100. That are all hoping that Polkadot essentially will have an Ethereum-esque growth behind it. And it hasn't really explored that yet. So I foresee that this could go up to 180. I thought it would go up to 180 in the last bull market. It didn't. It did its most bullish activities at the wrong time. But I think it's going to get captured this time. I think people have more of an appreciation for Polkadot this time. And we're in a bear market, so it's never going to exploit its gains-making potential. But I think that it is going to over the next period. So this is going to amount to 6.3 million. $70,000 into 6.3 million. That doesn't sound great, does it? But it's good. These are no risk, okay? So the amount I'm investing, so it's essentially $1 million, just under $1 million. So this is actually 520,000. So it's a little bit more, I suppose, than the 50% that I've said. Just about a little bit more. Maybe it's more 52%. So 520,000, and to come out of it with 44 million. So yeah, so just over $500,000 to make 44 million. Now you're probably looking at this and thinking that it's either pessimistic on the optimal buy-in price or very optimistic on the bull prediction. But either way, I think that these sort of gains are achievable in 2 cycles anyway. Now, given that these 5 assets will last 2 cycles unless something Terra Luna-esque happens to it, which I don't foresee for these particular assets. These particular assets, I think, are relatively safe. They're de-risked. So I feel quite comfortable investing so much into it because I think I'm going to get a good return on it. I don't think I'm going to lose 50k. Could happen, but I don't think so. It's very unlikely to happen. Solana, maybe I'm taking a little bit of a risk because it has had some downtime. But I do foresee that Solana is really the next Ethereum. One of the most exciting. If not the most exciting next to Ethereum, I would say. So anyway, yeah, so you can see that this consists of half of my investment amount, but also it consists of half of how much I'm planning to make. So this is essentially going to nearly make $50 million, just these 5. Pretty good return, I think. And that just goes to show you, have we got Jerry Banfield in the house? Yes, we have. Good to see you, Jez. I wish you were live afterwards so that I could, everybody could enjoy your streams after. So anyway, this is it. So this is the part of my portfolio that consists of the top 10s. As you can see, a fantastic return. And the other thing to say is that even if this doesn't hit, like the encouraging thing is even if these bull predictions don't hit in one cycle, they will hit eventually. And we don't know how big the cycle is going to be. We don't know if post the recession, if we are actually going to have a bull market that is a crypto bull market, so still our 4-year cycles, or if we're going to have a mega cycle, because now that Bitcoin seems to be priced exactly the same as stocks, aka priced in the dollar, it seems it may have the same trajectory up and it may have the same life cycle after the recession. So we could be having a mega cycle. We could be having a 5-year, maybe even 6-year bull market after we've had the recession. Because the quantitative tightening will pave way for quantitative easing. Money's going to get pumped back in probably long term. We'll probably have a perpetual shitstorm when it comes to quantitative easing, quantitative tightening, quantitative easing, quantitative tightening. I don't think it's going to be the same extent of what we've had so far. I think it's going to be, to an extent, controlled. I think COVID is really the reason why we're in this incredible position today. So I'm going to now touch on the top 10 to 50 area. All right, so you will now see that the amount I invest lessens. And this is because I have to accommodate more coins. So the next one in my list, now I've got to bring the formatter back up. The next one in this list is Near Protocol. Near Protocol, I have got a massive amount. This is an exception compared to the rest of the other 10 to 50, top 10 to 50 cryptocurrencies. I am not going to be investing this much in anything else, but given that I think this is going to go down to my optimal buying price, or hopefully it's halfway there now pretty much, I think that this is the only ecosystem that has had no appreciation until the next bull market comes along. It had like the simmerings of a very exciting ecosystem in the last bull market, the simmerings, but I think that this time it's going to shoot for the moon. I think this time genuinely it is going to shoot for the moon. So anyway, this is going to be like the Solana that I just showed you. So I showed you Solana. In my $5,000 portfolio, if you saw that. So let me just remind you, just so you have some context. So this was a video that I brought out. So I'm going to give me the date now. Oh yeah, November 16th, 2020. So I not recommended again, but I was saying if you're going to build a 5,000 portfolio, this is what I would do. I would put 1,500 into Solana at $1.80 because that was the price as it existed back then. And I said the gains potential was 75x. The Solana ended up going to near $300 in the last bull market, right? So this captured that whole move. And I think that if you were to go back here, when I said Solana at 180, if I'd have said to you that Solana would go to $300, everybody in the chat would have been saying, are you nuts? Are you stupid? Well, that's never going to happen. That's ambitious. Haha, what a load of crap. You're going to get wrecked. Look what happened, right? And I think that Near is last season's Solana. So where we will be at will be roughly here. And I think that where Near will go to is where Solana went to, which is essentially in the mid-200s. So I foresee that it's going to have pretty much the same, about the same trajectory, which would equal 167x. So therefore I'm putting 100k into this. But 100k into this. Right? Now, you could say, Suppo, why don't you just get your 975,000 and just slap it into Near Protocol? Well, because I imagine that a lot of these cryptos over the course of time are going to have bullish news, they're going to have waves, and I want to be able to essentially be part of the trajectory as it keeps going up and up. And also, it's a good idea to diversify your portfolio, but at the same time, you will see that this portfolio is essentially infrastructure-centric. That means that it's mainly layer 1s, layer 2s, scaling solutions, distributed ledger technologies, etc. Okay, so most of them, I'd say 90% of them are pretty much ecosystems. And I'm hedging my bets and betting big in the hope of making it big. And I think that even if, again, and I think this can be applied to also, I don't need to say it every time, is I think that Near will last more than one cycle, potentially. So therefore, I feel happy putting in 100k. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I am going to move to the chat. So then we got FTX. So FTX I see as basically the next period's Binance. So Binance, if you'll remember, if you were around then, I've covered Binance at various points in its life cycle. I covered it firstly in 2017 when it was 78 cents. I covered it again in I didn't really cover it in 2019, but it was one of my portfolio videos where it was at that time around about $9. And FTX, I think, is going to get to where Binance was, and I think that FTX is going to also reach the levels that Binance reached in the last bull market, because FTX has essentially got exactly the same, it's essentially got the same properties as Binance, essentially a copy of paste of Binance. Sam Bankman-Fried, CZ are basically two big personalities in cryptocurrency. Sam Bankman-Fried is doing a lot of buying of, platforms right now. Buying of platforms, buying of assets from, like Voyager and things like that. So really bolstering basically FTX. All of these will essentially bolster up FTX. It will feed the value back into FTX. FTX, I think, is going to go down to $9, and I think it's going to hit a peak of $750. Now, I'm only paying 20k into FTX because it's not at this point an ecosystem, and without actually being an ecosystem, I feel like, I think I'm just happy putting in 20k. Right, okay. I was just checking these because, yeah. So anyway, so that looks about right, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks about right. I think that looks a bit odd. It looks so much like this. So anyway, so I foresee that FTX is going to have, its next period is going to be a very good period. Like it was already starting to in 2022. I saw FTX really making some good user adoption moves. Like, for instance, they were having these NFT sales of like F1 cars and stuff. And I became a user of FTX at that point. I had never previously been on FTX. And it was the same with Binance. When I first got into Binance in 2017, it was being part of the community. They had this community voting system back in 2017, I had to be a user to be able to vote on the cryptocurrency I wanted them to list. And they were very good at user adoption marketing. And FTX, I think, are going to be just as good, right? And FTX is basically the second chance for Binance because Binance is already way gone. Now, you may think, well, if that's the case, then why does Binance have a higher trajectory than FTX? I personally think it's because Binance has moved on a step. I think that as adoption comes in, it's going to be more concentrated on Binance than FTX, and then FTX next time around is probably going to do really well. So this would be why I'll invest in FTX. Then ApeCoin. Now, ApeCoin is a bit more of I would say, a payments play. It's not an infrastructure as such. So ApeCoin has been recently accepted by Gucci as a method of payment for goods. I think this is a sign of the times for where I see ApeCoin going. Obviously, a lot of the great and the good got ApeCoin as part of being a Bored Ape hodler. So they're encouraged to... So people who are in the great and the good that have businesses... I like just like with Elon Musk when him trying to get Dogecoin adoption going because he's the Dogecoin investor. I think similar is going to happen with ApeCoin. Lots of the great and the good are Bored Ape hodlers. They own ApeCoin. They are going to want to accommodate ApeCoin as part of their ecosystem. So it obviously bolsters up the value of ApeCoin over time. So I think ApeCoin is a very good shout. It's been very strong in this market. I'd be very doubtful actually it will go to $1. If it does go to $1, I might actually consider investing more than 20,000 because $1 I think is a pittance. RMNF, good to see you. Glad you're following. So ApeCoin, I think it'll be tough to get to $1. Actually, I might actually I'll leave it at $1 for now. Because ApeCoin, if you think about it, it's really a payments. This is not really an ecosystem, so not a lot of fundamentals should prop it up when the shit hits the fan. I'm hoping that $1, which is essentially what ApeCoin started out as, acts as a support because if worst comes to the worst, people will sell their ApeCoins and it'll go down to previous, it'll go down to its base level support, which should be at $1. So I foresee it could probably do better than $80. It's already achieved kind of $30 just on its launch. And I think as actual adoption comes in, then it's probably going to do a lot better. So anyway, so there we are. So ApeCoin. Right, I'm going to do one more. And it's one that is a little bit further down on this list, and that's Kronos, okay? Now, Kronos, I think, again, is going to have a better period this time around than it did in the last period. Because the name is going out there more, as adoption will come to cryptocurrency in the next bull period. I think a lot of people will already know of Crypto.com, that it will be familiar to people. They'll look down the list on CoinMarketCap and they'll think, oh yeah, I recognize that. So I think it's going to have, their marketing will basically pave the way for the next bull run. I think it's essentially a little bit like, a YouTuber that's got 100,000 followers that keeps content going. They don't really grow, but then when the bull market comes along, they're top of mind. So then they astronomically grow. And I think it'll be the same with Kronos. They're keeping top of mind, staying in the public eye, being seen around the world in various sporting events. They're making incredibly aggressive acquisitions like the Staples Center, like the marketing on the Super Bowl, the marketing of the World Cup, marketing in Formula One, sponsoring a Grand Prix, essentially having naming rights over that Grand Prix. They're doing their absolute best to be aggressive with marketing, and 50% of cryptocurrency is all about marketing. So I think Kronos will have a better period next bull market, but also they have Kronos Chain, which hasn't really started as an ecosystem. They've got the exchange, which is part of the app. That is only partially factored into their ecosystem. So I think Kronos, and also they've got a super low inflation rate, and they've burnt a lot of their tokens. So I think that this is going to have a very appreciative run next time round. So I'm going to be putting 40k into this one because I really do like it, and also it's got the card benefits, which Joe Parry's was saying the other day that something was going to be announced on Crypto.com. I don't know what that is, but I think that they are looking to increase cardholder benefits.
Great stream, thumbs up, heart.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Really appreciate the gems. Thank you very much, and also the message. So yeah, so this could turn 40,000 into 3.3 million, essentially. Yeah, it is 3.3 million. Right, okay, so let's see what you guys have got to say. I am keen to see what you guys kind of think of this. Hey Suppo, when you make 100 million plus next bull run, will you still be doing videos or walking off into the sunset? I'll still be doing videos. I'll tell you this, right? As far as I'm concerned, like the reason I do videos is because I want to make people rich. Like it's a personal goal of mine. But at the same time, obviously, it's not fully philanthropic because I make myself rich at the same time because I'm really talking about the coins that I think are going to make millionaires, of which I'm also a hodler. So it's like there's a benefit that doesn't have to be monetary in I get paid by YouTube, or I get paid on YouTube, or get paid by Twitch, or I get paid by projects to follow. I don't want any of that stuff. I want to be rich from long-term investing. Therefore, people who long-term invest with me, I hope also be rich. So I will still be doing videos, but I'm hoping, because I guess I want to kind of be the Jesus of cryptocurrency. I want to be the teacher. Like when people come to cryptocurrency, I want them to have somebody who talks fundamentals, not just hype moon boy shit. Not people that are like, when Bitcoin's at 20k and quite clearly going to be crushed by a macro environment saying 48k next month for Bitcoin. I don't want to be that kind of person. I want to be the kind of person that people kind of get a good grasp of how cryptocurrency works through. Suppo, why would you hold for two bull markets? Won't we risk coming back to the same price today? I don't think so, no. And this is a good question, actually, from Absorb Crypto. I don't think so, because every bull and bear market so far has taken crypto prices kind of 5 steps forward and kind of 3 steps back. But it never goes 4 or 5 steps back where we get back to the price at the beginning. Never happens. It's never happened in the time that crypto has been around. In the main. Obviously, for smaller altcoins, some of them die and never come back. All right, then they can't be held for more than one cycle in most occasions, which is why a lot of my portfolio is invested into cryptocurrencies likely to last more than one cycle, because that gives the longevity of it. That is like me putting a line in the sand saying this is a cryptocurrency likely to deliver value for the future and thrive in the future, not just stick around. But I don't think that we're going. This is a once in a lifetime event. This is once in a lifetime. It will never happen again, I don't believe. I think that the chance of getting cryptos where the prices have come down below the previous bear market is an anomaly, and I think it'll only happen this time round. I don't think it will happen again. I think next time, because the Fed and the governments have essentially kicked us into the shitter through basically aggressive money printing, then I think that people are going to think twice about what they do with their money next time round and put it into appreciative assets, which crypto now, I think, is establishing itself in. So although people say, oh, crypto is not the inflation hedge it should be, where because of the inflation is not as high as obviously normal fiat money, it should be a hedge at this point, and it should be growing at a time like this. No. This is what is the birth, I think, of crypto. This is what makes eyes turn to crypto, and this is what changes the perception of crypto, where the previous perception is scam, is to pay for drugs, to pay for black market stuff, or what's the word? Deep web stuff, dark web stuff. It's not that anymore. It's breaking out of that perception, and it's now being established as this is actually an economy with good appreciative properties to it, and people are now beginning to realize that, and I think that's going to be exploited in the next market. So I think actually the next bull market will probably take us kind of 10 steps ahead, and we'll probably go about 3 steps back. I really do think this is probably the bull market to end all bull markets, basically. Let's see what else. What if we don't hit any new all-time highs in the bull run? Is that possible? It is possible, yes. I do actually think that, because the goalposts moved down so much, because the losses have been so harshly felt, that there is a potential that people will get very scared when, these assets do approach their all-time highs again. People will be like I did a poll recently about, when would you sell your Bitcoin in the next bull market? And people were saying, I'd sell it at 70k, which is basically the top in the last time. So I think there's going to be a lot of resistance at all-time highs. But I think we're going to enter a new wave of adoption, both in adoption of investors and adoption of actual users. Crypto basically moves on a step every time. And I think that what will be the catalyst to the next bull market is actually probably going to be a spot ETF. So it opens it out to Wall Street, essentially, in a more effective way than ever. Any of these worth DCAing? Well, I am DCAing currently, just to have a line in the sand, because I think that what I want to do is I want to make sure that that I commit early, because I want to, things happen in the interim, and if whatever happens, worst case scenario is these prices never get hit, I at least have some exposure. So I have my open orders here. They haven't yet been hit. So my open orders on Binance include Ethereum Classic, eGold. So Ethereum Classic at 25, eGold at 42, Helium at $3.90, Gala at 3.9 cents, and then we've got some mega buys here. So we've got a mega buy for Ethereum and a mega buy order for here at 800. And my most recent orders have been dollar cost averaging. So this is my history. So I've only got 3 here. So it's these. It's Glimmer at 45 cents, Mina at 57, Decentraland at 69. This was about a week ago, I want to say. About a week ago. We're hitting low. So I do a little bit of dollar cost averaging just to have some exposure, but I certainly wouldn't be doing kind of my optimal buy prices at this point. I think that would be essentially prematurely ejaculating. It's like getting $1,000 bottle of scotch and drinking it while you're drunk. You just don't really get to experience the good stuff. Suppoman, tell me about Bluezilla launchpads. So Aryan, you've made a good point actually. So I still have some money invested in my in cryptocurrencies right now. So I've still got Bluezilla launchpads and some of the IDOs that came out of that. I'm keeping those. Those are staying as is. I'm not really touching those. This is purely new money. This is purely what is my new portfolio going to look like, and I will have an aged portfolio which is just there in case we get hit all-time highs again. But it's like thousands. It's like less than 10,000 most of these. So if they do well, brilliant. If they don't do well, who cares? Lost a little bit of money. It's not a big deal. So Bluezilla launchpads, they will evolve with the market. All right, so we've got new ecosystems coming up. We've got Aleph Zero, we've got Sui, we've got Aptos. The likelihood is that Bluezilla will still be around next time around, and they'll bring up Sui Pad and Aptos Pad and Aleph Zero Pad. Who knows? They'll move with the market. But at this point, in a bear market, there's no really any point in doing anything. I don't see optimism, or am I wrong? You are wrong, is there? from Demon Sir, Suppo, may I ask, what do you foresee the future of virtual reality, augmented reality tech in the metaverse, and any crypto would you consider to invest in, covering the sector like HoloRide? No, I don't give a shit for little coins, right? So I do foresee that VR and augmented reality are going to have bright futures. Meta has kind of put their stake in the ground, and they're like, we're developing, metaverse and virtual reality. So I think that it is in the future and it is going to evolve, and it's already evolving right now. And VR headsets, the one I've got, which is the Oculus Quest 2, is actually kind of outdated. So VR headsets are going to go better. VR experiences are going to get better. And I foresee that Decentraland and Sandbox are kind of they are my bankers on that future. All right, I'm not going to invest in HoloRide and what was another one that came out recently? Plutonians or something. I'm not going to invest in little single player share. I'm going to invest in basically the equivalent of Meta in crypto, which are these two. But I do foresee that there is going to be a future, and it is going to move quite fast. Jawad, hi Mr. Superman, big fan of you, love your content. Thank you very much. Hi Super, what do you think about Moves and Grooves? I don't know Groove and Moves. Don't know. It's a bear market. How can you be sure that none of the cryptos on your list aren't Ponzi schemes? You can never be sure. But you kind of just got to go with fundamental analysis, and this is what I do. So my job is to do fundamental analysis behind these. What's the vision? What's the team? Where's the team come from? Like if they've got a team of entrepreneurs from Fiverr or something, then it's probably going to be a rug pull, probably a Ponzi scheme. But if you've got, like for instance, if you've got like the guy from Gala is previous head of Zynga and previous head of MySpace. These are people with two good names. They've built profitable businesses. So you kind of think, well, they're not going to put their names behind a Ponzi scheme. So the fundamental analysis is looking into really the skeleton of the cryptocurrency, and is it strong, and is it likely to deliver value over the course of time. And I think these mostly will. But you can never know. You never know the intentions really behind founders. You don't ever really know. And the lower cap you go, the more of a risk you're taking in that area. But, I would say that most of the coins, if not all of the coins in this, are pretty strong. If I make $1 million, I will name my firstborn Suppoman. It will take a while, but he will get used to his new name. Well, all you have to do is literally direct him to me, and he'll be like, oh, thank you. It's like literally calling me the equivalent of Jesus. No, I'm joking. Why can't you see Pulse X? No, I'm not going to add Pulse X. Right? Pulse X is a very, very risky play. It could do well, and I've made some good money off it, but I'm not going to add Pulse X because I don't see that as fundamentally strong. Oh God, how far down are we? Do you have a place where we can download or view the spreadsheet? I don't, no. I will keep it as a stream-only utility because I don't want it to be abused or shared to people who don't care for the content. I love your low-tone voice when you mimic the Moon Boys. I would like to pick the up around 1K. What's the safest place to stake? Is a node worth running? I don't know. I don't run any nodes, if I'm honest with you. You could just stake via a normal platform. I would say like Binance or something, or in a staking wallet. Oh shit! Am I coming down with the flu? I hope not. Flu is in abundance in the UK right now. What do you think Bitcoin will hit in the next bull run? I think it will exceed the 100K, and I think we'll probably go more towards 200, 300 maybe. It's difficult to know with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has increasingly diminishing returns with every bull market. I just don't see the point. Like, if I just show you once again, I mean, look, if I show you this video that I did of a $5,000 portfolio, I think Bitcoin. Well, okay, maybe not. Dot and Link have come to near enough this price again. But they have had bigger appreciation between then and now. And Bitcoin hasn't. Bitcoin has gone up to 70K from this point, and yet Solana has gone from 180 to near $300. So as far as I'm concerned, people going into Bitcoin, it's just a bit of a waste. It has got fundamental strength, etc., but it's mainly a store of value. The technology, better technology, exists elsewhere. And although, basically when the kind of wealthy money comes into Bitcoin, the multipliers, 10x. Do you want 10x? Like, basically nothing in my portfolio is a 10x. Everything is about 100x. Everything is like multiples of, everything is way more than 30x. So I don't really care how Bitcoin does either way. I think it's got a strong future. It is definitely kind of the bank of the future, as it were. But I do think that Ethereum has slightly usurped it, actually, in terms of its appreciative properties. Trader Ivo, good to see you in the house. 253 people watching. That's awesome. Let me just have a look. Let me just have a looky look at. Bear with me. 2 seconds. Let me just see. Make sure that everything went out okay. It did. Okay. Okay. Just making sure it all got shared. Okay. Don't forget to click to claim a bonus bottom. Oh, yeah. Do that. Patrick knows his stuff. He knows more about Twitch than I do. What do you think of Zedica? I like it. I'm not gonna add it. I'm not interested in it. Fratboy Jim is paying forward the gift they got from Jerry Banfield to the community. Ah, awesome, Fratboy Jim. Thank you. You gifted a sub to Andy Pinup 1983. Super, do you think Earther will be successful? It could be. There's quite a few of these kind of, overhead games coming out. Like Cryptopolis, Bit Hotel. They're all quite similar in terms of the structure. Let me have a look. Why didn't more people spot that Luna was a Ponzi scheme? That's a good question. I think that if I'm honest with you, I think Luna was a direct victim of the bear market. The algorithmic stablecoin killed it. Okay, so it needed Bitcoin to back it, and once it started getting depegged, they needed to sell it, which eroded confidence in Luna. It eroded confidence in Do Kwon. Do Kwon has gone from basically being one of the meekest, most modest, most nice people, kind of introverted people actually. Do Kwon, from what I've heard anyway, from people who know him, is that Do Kwon is the kind of your average person, like your average developer, quite quiet, doesn't really talk to people, and then the success of Luna kind of turned him into a gargantuan, I suppose, personality and charismatic personality on Twitter, like something he never was before. And just the whole whirlwind took place with Luna. It got successful, he got successful, it got successful, and then until the point that it all started to unwind because of the bear market, and the algorithmic stablecoin was so strongly connected to the economy and the greed of the market that it just failed overall as a project. But on the plus side for Luna, things are on the up and up. I think Luna may have gone down slightly. It had a massive spike today. I haven't added this to my portfolio because I don't necessarily think we're going to see the bottom for Luna like we did when I bought it. Like, I literally bought it at the bottom. In fact, if Jerry's in the chat, he was doing a live stream at the time that I actually bought Luna at the bottom. So, and I think I said something to him about I've just bought Luna at the bottom. Where was that? If we go 3 months. I literally bought as the printer stopped. So it was about here, I would say. It's about here. Yeah, I remember. I think he was playing Punch Out, actually. He was playing it on Facebook Gaming. He was playing Punch Out on the Nintendo Entertainment System when I bought Terra Classic. I remember that vividly. I don't think we're going to be seeing that again. Essentially we had 5 zeros and a 9. and then the money printer stopped, and now the burning mechanism's happening, where where basically Binance is looking to really accommodate the comeback, I think, of Terra Luna. So therefore, they're now burning all trading fees related to Terra Luna in BUSD and USDT. Essentially, they convert it into USDT, the USDT equivalent. No, they convert it into they convert the USDT equivalent in Luna Classic, and they send it to a burn address. So essentially, they are burning it. And I think that over the course of time, like with Shiba Inu, you're going to see over the course of time you'll see the burning happening. It'll be a bit like Pulse Chain, I suppose, just deflationary over time. So yeah, but I wouldn't add it to the list because I think that the best ever buy was achieved by fluke, to be honest. Sometimes it happens. This is why you need to be always in the market. You always need to be knowing what's going on, because you'll get a lucky investment every now and again. Why isn't Bitcoin on your list? I think I've explained it. I strongly think investing in Cardano can make you generational wealth. $150 coin in the next bull run. I've been very modest with Cardano. So Cardano would come into... Because Cardano at this present time, I believe, is still a mid-cap. Let me have a look. Yeah, Cardano is still a mid-cap. So a mid-cap is 250 million or above. And I personally hope for Cardano to come down another 3x from this, which would take it to under 100 million. I don't think this will become a micro-cap. I'd be very surprised if it did. And then Cardano, I think, will have a trajectory to at least near its old all-time high. But I think people are very, very excited about Cardano. So I can see it doing even better. Have you ever mined Bitcoin? No. I'm far too mindful of my electricity bill. Hi, Suppo. Is Chainlink a good buy? Yeah, I think Chainlink's good. I haven't got it in here. I obviously hodl Chainlink. Have you ever been scammed? Yes, I have been scammed. Have I been scammed? I've bought scam coins, yeah. I've bought scam coins before in the past, like coins that ended up rug pulling. It does happen. Why are people asking about Bitcoin, for fuck's sake? Like, come on, people. What I like about Bitcoin is essentially it paves the way. It's like Moses. So Moses, when he was going through, I can't remember what the river was called, but when he was, or the sea, he essentially walked through the middle and the seas parted. And he led the way for everybody to follow. And that's what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin leads the way. Now, if the waters close in on him, bang, Bitcoin takes everything away. Otherwise, Bitcoin leads everybody up to the moon. And but it doesn't necessarily achieve it itself. Like, it's got diminishing returns. It's the oldest, most established cryptocurrency. It's already got a lot of whale money in it. You know, BlackRock and all of that, all the institutions, they're already in Bitcoin to an extent. They've already got exposure to it. That means that the returns are just going to be diminishing over time. Like, you're just going to have less and less multipliers over time. And although it will stand the test of time, it'll still be around. Even if everything else went away, it'd still be around. Like, what you would make from it, investing at this point, is too minor. Unless you buy a whole Bitcoin or more, like 2 Bitcoins, it's not really worth it. Jerry Banfield, hey, have you looked at Gods Unchained? Gods Unchained, it seems to be one of the best quality crypto games to play today. I have only seen it on your streams. I've watched the streams that you've played Gods Unchained. It's not at all my kind of game at all. I like games that are, replicate a game I would play in real life, like a platform game, or like Sims. Because I play Sims, I play gun games, I play platform games. I definitely do not play card games. Like, it's not my thing at all. So I wouldn't even play it. But looking at it on your stream, it's smooth. It looks like a fully complete, ready to go, pretty seamless game. And most of the games that I've seen in cryptocurrency are dog shit. They're clunky. They're slow. They look good, but operationally they are cumbersome. And Gods on Chain seems to be the antithesis of that. So I like it for that from that perspective. It looks high quality for the game that it is, for sure. I have a friend who was heavily invested in Luna together with a group of friends, and they heard Luna would go under, and then they already heard Luna would go under, and then they pulled out. It was good timing, lucky them. Everyone I know thinks crypto is a scam. Yeah, because we still haven't reached that level, but we are reaching a better perception than crypto has ever had. Could you please share that YouTube link? Tried searching, couldn't find. What YouTube link do you mean? Suppo boy Concatuan? You are my favorite crypto guru. I appreciate the name. It's a good name, I think. I don't know what Concatuan is. I hope that's not something rude. I can only invest 1k in this bear market. Yeah, what you've got to invest in is the coin that you see the greatest value in yourself. I like NEAR and Solana a lot as far as these elite coins are concerned. And personally speaking, I think that actually these have got just as good a gains as some of these, actually. UFO Gaming, I'll just do this quickly. So UFO Gaming is within the low caps that I would buy, the low caps that comprise 22%. And this has the potential to go 625x just to get to its old all-time high. Now, UFO Gaming, I think, is one of the stronger ones on this list because it kind of replicates Scala and Vulcan Forge, but much, 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 much lower market cap. UFO Gaming was $1 billion cryptocurrency at one point. Everybody was talking about it. A lot of us have seen it. People know about it. And when it comes to gaming, people will probably think, oh, UFO Gaming, when a bull market comes back on and a gaming trend is going on. I want UFO Gaming to go down to have another zero. So currently it's 19 is here. I want it to lose half of that, and then I will buy into it. And it could have a very good trajectory. It also could not do very well. I'm putting 15k into it simply because I love it. I really love it. And whenever it goes down, and then a bit of bullishness comes back into the market, it really shoots. So just to give you an indication, so back in June, when I bought Sandbox, I bought Sandbox at 78 cents, and then a few weeks later, it was $1.40, so it 2x'd. At the same time, UFO Gaming was about I think the price lower than it is now. It was like 1.8 here, and then it went up to 5.8, so it like 3x'd. And nearly 4, it was 3x'd. And I thought that was incredible. And it really just kept going up. And I was like, oh, I wish I'd got it at 1.8 now. The 1.8. And now it's come back down. I'm like, now it's on its descendancy. So I'm not going to buy it. But I've always liked it and never bought it. So I might put in a big buy of this. And I think it does have a strong trajectory. And this in itself could turn $15,000 into nearly 10 million. So if it does have this trajectory, it may not. I don't think I'm going to lose the 15k. It just may not ever go up to this height again. But I think it's a good bet to take. And this would probably be one of the bets I would take if I had 1,000 to invest. I'd probably put 300 and 200 in this, 300 in this, maybe if I did. But I've got a high risk tolerance, so. Anyway, so there we are. So there is something in here for everyone, but all I will say is that I have way more confidence these are going to survive than these necessarily. Although I think they're solid projects. Yeah, I've invested in solid projects in the past. I invested in Matrix AI, Zilliqa, Holochain. They never hit their all-time highs again, even though they're promising projects. Never hit their all-time highs again. And the same fate could befall these cryptos. They may be great, but they're just, over time, there's more cryptos in the market. And the more cryptos there are in the market, there is more chance of being hidden. Whereas this lot, they aren't hiding. They're visible. They're in the FTSE 100, essentially. Or the Dow Jones 50, So you'll never, people will never lose sight of them. Tell us about your courses. I've got courses, obviously. on Udemy. They're good courses, actually. Very good courses. If you want to learn more about the fundamentals. If I invest 5K, what should it be? I won't tell you what you should invest in. All right? I will tell you two things, though. I will tell you that we're seeing probably the best prices we'll ever see for top assets, meaning there's no risk but fantastic gains ahead. And two, you should have a diversified portfolio. You could go all in. You could go all in on Solana. Put that, if it goes down to 10K, put 5K into Solana, could do very well. So let's say that I put 5,000 instead. That would be 100. That would be fucking insane. That would be insane. There we are. There's your answer, I guess. You could go all in on one, but then you'll be jealous when other cryptocurrencies, like let's say Nia, maybe Gala or whatever, you'll be like, oh no, I wish I'd gotten into that. And then you're going to be wanting to sell. So the more you go all in on something, the more you feel like you're missing out, and then you're more likely to sell before you reach the maturity gain of your asset. So therefore, if you have a diversified portfolio, you can be quite happy. You've got like a few ticks. You've got infrastructure. You've got, let's say, for instance, you've got blue chip infrastructure. You've got promising infrastructure. So let's say you've got like Solana and then Cardano. Then you've got, let's say, Decentraland for metaverse. You've got Gala for play to earn, and you've got, I don't know, Moonbeam, let's say. So so I would recommend a diversified portfolio, and then over the course of time, it will probably do pretty well. But not too diversified. The more diversified it is, the more you dilute it, essentially. Has there been any selling of Mt. Gox? No, there has not yet. There has not yet. Nor has there been a sell-off of staked Ethereum and a lot of mined Ethereum. That has not been sold yet, and I think that buy pressure is to come. BitSims, good one. Good one, Patrick. Can you show us BitSims again? I really like that. I spent a lot of money developing that, and in the end didn't really do anything about it. Summon Hex, Nia, Solana, Velas. Oh, right, 1,000. Oh, okay. So Hex 1,000. I would wait for Hex to go to under a cent, and then I'd probably invest in it again. I'd be doubtful we see prices like this again. I'd be very doubtful we'll see 0.003 when I first reviewed Hex. Look, is Hex crypto the next big thing? It ended up being actually the next big thing, funnily enough, and yet still has the same rank on CoinMarketCap. But Hex is okay. I love Richard Hart. I love the guy, Richard. I think he's a brilliant guy. I was only chatting to him yesterday, in fact, and I think he's got fantastic intentions. Like, a lot of his marketing can seem scammy. It can seem a little bit untrustworthy, I guess, because he's got the Rolex, he's got the shiny stuff. As regulation enters the space, we've got XRP being in a court case at the moment with the SEC, deciding if it's in a commodity or security. Hex will probably be seen as a security, by the SEC. So I'm sure Richard Hart has thought of a very clever way of getting around it. So we'll have to wait and see. So Hex could be under fire at that point. Near, Solana, Velas, as an outside bet. That would be a pretty good bet, I would say. I'd say that's pretty good. There isn't much exposure to low caps, but at the same time, you may not want that. You're taking a lot of risk, I guess, with Hex. I still think proof of work is better than proof of stake in any aspect. No rug pulls, no fear of Ponzi scheme. That is why Bitcoin, Cardano, and Nervous will be safe and good to invest. So I think that proof of work is very good from a security perspective, but you never really truly know the full, all the mechanics behind a machine. You will only see what people tell you, what want you to see. Like, can Cardano really, realistically achieve 480,000 transactions per second in a mainnet with actual usage and be proof of work? It's never been done before. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do like Cardano. So what do you think of TKT? I haven't heard of him in ages. I met him at Consensus in 2018. He's a nice guy. In the meantime, while that's going on, let's have something a little bit more moving. Here we are, 119.92, 113.92. It's like trying to gobble up the wick and go back to highs. I think we are approaching I think we've actually exceeded the 2002 high of the Dixie. So I think the next best is probably going to be, I don't know, 80s? But Bitcoin somehow, I don't know how, it's staying within this compression wedge. Look, it wicked above, but it's staying within it. I think that poses difficulties for it, but I don't really care about the day-to-day ultimately, because I think that it's going to go down. It's going to go down. just need to wait. So do you think move to earn projects have what it takes to do well? I think it's a very good use case for crypto, yeah. I think it's a very good use case. I think that the only real problem with move to earn is the tokenomics aspect. You know, if it's a bit like what caused the downfall of Axie Infinity. Smooth Love Potion killed Axie Infinity. And you know, the more and like Green Satoshi token kind of killed off Steppen as well. People just sell it off. They make an abundance of tokens, and that really helps the sell pressure when it gets bearish. But in a bull market, I can see it doing really well. Oh, YouTube link. Yeah, so all you have to do is go to Classic Suppoman. So it's not my normal Suppoman channel. Classic Suppoman, which is the channel that I'm now leaving there for legacy purposes, so one can look at videos of old, an analysis I have done of old. So Hex, this video is one of the last I did actually on that channel. Well, I'll get back to it in 2 seconds. Let me just see what else you guys are saying. 0.98 now.
Hi, Suppo.
Thank you very much. Is it Florian AB77 or Floriana B77? But thank you very much. Get some Jack's dance going. I only got into crypto last year, and when I advise others to invest too, people ask how much I made, but I haven't made much yet, so they don't listen to me. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is, that will definitely diminish your messaging, but keep at it. Eventually, you'll be like, remember when I told you the price got this low? I told you. You didn't listen. So, suck it, basically. Are you going to unfold the rest of the black color? I'm going to do a bit more. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I mean, what you've got to remember is that this list, I believe anyway, is the equivalent to when I first started in cryptocurrency. Like, we have had the prices rolled back years, right? And each time they were rolled back, but then went on to make the gains. I bought some insane stuff that ordinarily would cost me, would take me decades to afford. So the penthouse that I'm in now, $1 million, right? It's $1 million. The penthouse I'm in right now is $1 million in US money. And I would never have been able to afford this, but essentially cost me about $10,000 because I invested in something that 100x, sold, bought this. My Tesla probably, which is a Tesla Model X, high spec, Bitcoin registration plate. Again, that probably cost me about $1,000, even though it cost $150,000 to buy new. It cost me $1,000 because I made massive gains off of my crypto coins, like with Ethos. Like, I bought my Tesla, my initial Tesla Model S, with my Ethos gains, which I made in 2017 to 2018, the 300x off 20k. That's all you need. You just get get one big win, and you don't need the other wins. You put one of these like Solana. Okay, maybe not Solana. Like, let's say NEAR. This whole portfolio is basically costing $1 million. If NEAR on its own hits its price target, it's basically worth double this portfolio. So it just goes to show you the potential of what you can achieve in this next run, which will come after we've gotten through this quantitative tightening period. It is going to be a moon mission. I have no doubt about it. It's going to be incredible. But we have to pass by this massive, shitstorm. But it will happen. But to me, crypto is a money printer. I started with 2,000, and I own a load of stuff which I never would have been able to buy with 2,000. That 2,000 was a cash multiplication. That 2,000 I put in to crypto, and it became a cash multiplication printer. I was watching Andrew Tate with Harry. So my son Harry, he likes Andrew Tate. That's where I got the inspiration for my, if 14K is not hit for Bitcoin, I will go Andrew Tate essentially. So we were watching Andrew Tate yesterday, and he was like, it was like a video of his Jacob & Co. Bugatti watch, right, which cost 600,000. And I was thinking to myself, that cost me 10k, because I put 10k into a crypto, and it will spew out 600k. It can happen quite easily, I think, and this will be one of the periods where you can get multiple Bugatti watches with 10k, if you wanted to, obviously. But I just think about the position I was in, which was I had 3k in the bank, put 2k into Ripple, it changed everything. And then with what I got from Ripple, I put it into Ethos, and that changed everything further. I magicked essentially 7 figures out of $2,000. That's what crypto is. It's a cash multiplication printer. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but that's what it is. And it all comes from investing at the right time. So, whilst all other crypto YouTubers were saying, in October, November last year, they were all like, get Solana now, get Luna now, get Avalanche now. When they were all when Luna, Avalanche, and Solana were all at like $110 at the same time, and everybody was saying buy then. I was not saying buy anything then, even though people were saying, Suppo, tell us about coins already existing. Should we buy those? No, because that's not the time to buy. You buy those in a bear market. You buy those now. If you can't wait, obviously. If you've got a higher risk appetite, you'll wait like me and wait for optimal buy prices and then make even bigger amounts of money. But I think you could probably buy today. But the thing is that if you buy today, then you have to wait anyway for the market to come back. You're waiting either way. And in that time, a lot will happen to the market. And you may as well wait to see what the law of the land is, how the land lays, and then invest when you actually have an idea of where it's going. But right now, we're just going downhill. So it makes no sense to me anyway to invest now, except for just having little bits, just buying little bits like I have on Binance. Just buying little bits so you have some exposure. But definitely not to go all in at this point. That will be for the future. Anyway, let me go back to some questions before I do about 4 more. Love your vids. What about Elrond? Big favourite. Love Elrond. Yeah, very much love Elrond. Don't own any Elrond as of yet. I plan to buy some at $42. It's like hardly any. It's like less than $1,000 worth. But I plan to buy some. Yeah, I really like Elrond. Definitely don't go all in like I did. Jerry, you've made some good decisions, I must say. I think you just sold too early. So Jerry Banfield got me into crypto. This is what happened, right? So I had 2 people that were the reasons why I am what I am, why I've gotten to where I've gotten to. And one of those is Jerry Banfield. The other one's RJ Rajendran. RJ Rajendran, I guess I learned fundamental analysis off of. And Jerry just encouraged me to actually buy. He was just like, just get some. That was the point I needed. I guess I needed to get to. I needed to kind of just get some exposure. And Jerry just kind of made it look very easy, showed how to do it on his YouTube videos, and made some very good buys. He bought a Dash Master node for $10,000, which if he had sold near the top would have been over $1 million. At its actual top, it was 1.6 million. So that was a good all-in. Steam, I think 75k you went in on Steam at, I'm sure it was something like that, when it was under $1, and it went to $10, and you earned a load of Steam dollars, and you know, and mined a lot of Steam. So you know, those all in paid off. It's just the selling is always the hard part. And also, you bought however much of Bitcoin, like 60 Bitcoins or something at one point. So you've always made the good moves, if I'm honest with you. You've always made the good moves. So I guess the selling was the thing that was maybe not achieved. And sometimes to achieve by selling at the top is within itself an art form. Lots of people made millions. Oh yeah, lots of people made millions off of... hold on. Let me catch up. I'm well behind, I believe. Do you have a Discord, Suppo? I do not. Exactly, Jerry. It's very easy to sell when all in. And I was very, very lucky, I must admit. I was very lucky with Ethos. Like, when it went from 5 cents to $13, I went straight to Binance. And I had a look at the conversion rate. And it was basically I had 500,000 Ethos. And every 10,000, every 1,000 equaled a Bitcoin. So I sold them. I was like, wow. And at that point, I didn't own any Bitcoin. And I went from owning no Bitcoin to having 70 Bitcoins. So yeah, it was insane. It was insane. Easier to hold with a diverse portfolio, exactly. Illuvium should be on. It's a good question, actually. Illuvium is a very good shell, I must say. So Illuvium... it's very close now. Wow. Very close to the price I bought in initially. I did sell it at about 500. And I thought that was a mistake. But actually it wasn't. So Illuvium I bought $48 about a year ago, I would say. And Illuvium is probably one of the more promising play-to-earn games. It's a AAA play-to-earn game. The only problem is it is a single title. But at this price, you're pretty much getting it at... At this price, you're pretty much getting it at the lowest price it's ever been. And you know, when it came out, it was at $70. And I remember this. I remember when it came out. And I was looking for it, and I missed getting it in the $30, but I think I got it on the run-up, like 48, because the next day it was like $80. So right now, Illuvium is amongst the best prices ever. It's now well into the micro-cap zone, and it's got a fifth, the volume is a fifth of its market cap, so it shows that people still like it, know about it, trade it. 7 million is a lot of money. A lot of money. And that is 30% down on the previous day. So I would wait. I said I would wait until Illuvium hits kind of $20. If it hits $20, I'd go in. And that would make it around about... I want to say about 10 million market cap. And that would be a very good place. Like, if it doesn't get... Like, I should imagine you can kind of just free ride it then. And remember, Illuvium... Hold on. Let me have a look at the all-time high of Illuvium. $1,900! Fucking hell. So, we're basically, right now, only 2x more than the all-time low. And yet, fucking hell. 33x down. Holy shit balls. So, by rights then, if you bought it at 20, and it went to its old all-time high, and it got to its old all-time high without any game anyway. So, could happen. That'd be 100x. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let me have a look and see if there's any... I haven't looked, because I don't really play crypto games. They're really difficult to play. 3 months ago, 2 weeks ago. Let me have a quick look at this. See what it looks like. Stupid ads. Stop seeing this ad. There we go.
What's up, my magnificent
Yeah, whatever.
world? but some brand new.
It looks insane. Look at that. Really quite amazing graphics. And this is what it'll look like. Oh, look at that! And you're telling me a game this good is like 37 million? So I would wait for it to go to $20. Like I said, $20. If that would make it around about 10 million market cap. And what's the... Oh, this is probably a reason. Because circulating supply. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the tokenomics could actually be the problem here. Evmos, good question. Evmos, I might add to my list. Not at that price, though. Yeah, not even considering it at this price. That's too high. I would only get Evmos if it was about 30 cents, 50, 40 cents. At this price, that's a fucking joke. You know, let's have a look at Moonbeam. Moonbeam 6x less, and it's much better. So yeah, that's ridiculous. This has only been taken off. This is only taken off because of Cosmos. Right. Okay. Okay. Any views on Luna 1? No, I don't have any. Let me have a quick look because I've had lots of people ask about Luna 1 in the past. It's not even there. There's not even any such thing. There's no such thing as Luna 1. Oh, project's still currently on pre-sale. No, things like that are stupid. Right, okay. What was the game called? How to spell it? 3 L's or I? I don't know what you mean. You mean Illuvium? Illuvium is Illuvium. Yeah, Illuvium. Okay, okay, so let's move on. I'll do a few more, and then I'll save some for next time. For the next Twitch installment. Right, okay, so the next one on my list is going to be Decentraland. Now, Decentraland, I think, has got 100x capability. It's got very, very strong money flow. One of the reasons why I think it could go down to 20 cents from its current price, which is around about 70 cents, is because it's relying upon metaverse. And at this present time, in a poor economy, people only really like infrastructures. So singular narratives like metaverse could go really badly over the coming few months. And Decentraland has already come down a lot from $7 or whatever it was. So Decentraland is a deflationary cryptocurrency. The supply is fully out there. That means anybody buying Decentraland on Decentraland land on OpenSea is actually burning Decentraland out of supply. So that makes the demand nature overtake supply, therefore leading to appreciation. Now, right now, we are not in a metaverse and we're not in an NFT season. NFT essentially means collectibles, land sales, and all that good stuff, right? So people aren't buying land. Like back in November, somebody spent 1.6 million buying a shopping street on Decentraland. That would have massive repercussions on the supply now. But so I think Decentraland is the metaverse play of cryptocurrency. I think it's the best metaverse play of cryptocurrency. Let me just see how much I've put in the sandbox. Yeah, so I obviously think that it is the metaverse play of cryptocurrency. The decentralized, the tokenomics make it really good. The community size, the ability to get user adoption is really good. Decentraland, I think, is going to come onto more platforms over time. So I think that this is a very strong asset in the metaverse. I think if metaverse has a trend, Decentraland will shoot. It'll go up with Sandbox, but it's got better tokenomics than Sandbox. So I expect it to do better than Sandbox. And it ranks higher, so it has better money flow as well. This is very good for people who, rich people who have diversified portfolios will have Decentraland in them. They will have infrastructures and they will have Decentraland. And that is what I think will give Decentraland value moving forward, is that it will have a good batch of hodlers and good adoption moving forward. So yeah, so I think that would turn $30,000 into $3 million over the course of time. Then we have got the sandbox. And the sandbox, I think, is more attractive from a celebrity adoption point of view. So sandbox is different worlds. So Decentraland is really one world. You buy land in Decentraland and you are going all around in this virtual world. But Sandbox is creating multiple virtual worlds. So Snoop Dogg can have one, Paris Hilton can have one. They essentially have their own little sandbox world in the sandbox. And it's had really good adoption of late. And I think this has compensated for the tokenomics, because this is inflationary. It's not massively inflationary, but it is inflationary nonetheless. And inflationary cryptocurrencies, they don't do as well as deflationary, obviously. So that's why I think, from a fundamentals perspective, the sandbox is better. Decentraland is better, but Sandbox has good user adoption, good celebrity adoption. And I think that celebrities will encourage other celebrities to get into it, and that will make the adoption even more and the utility high, and therefore for price to do very, very well. So I foresee that Sandbox is going to go to about $25 from its standpoint. So from 30 cents, I think it will go down to $25, which would be at 83x, and turn $20,000 into 1.6 million. These are not quite as attractive as Near Protocol and Solana, in my opinion, because their infrastructures, any metaverse, NFT, play to earn, DeFi, stablecoin, algorithmic stablecoin, meme coin, supply chain coin, any coin built within the ecosystem of an infrastructure will feed up into the overall price and make it go up more consistently. Whereas Decentraland and Sandbox are single narratives. They do not have the explosiveness. They will not have the consistent bursts of value. But because Metaverse is a mega trend that has been massively cooled down, the fire has been put out because of the economy, I think it will burn very brightly next time, and particularly when VR and AR is more mature as well. So as those grow, these two will grow, and I think they're a very good banker next to infrastructures and a payments coin like Kronos. I'll do two more, and that is the last 10 out. That is the last of the top 10 to 50 coins. So next we have Elrond. Elrond I really love. I will put only 30k in it, only because I've got to spread my love, like a man does. And but I'm going to put 30,000 into Elrond. I really like Elrond. Okay, this will appeal to anybody who likes the properties of Bitcoin. So Elrond is an infrastructure. It's a fast transaction infrastructure. So fast TPS. It's like Solana. It's got fantastic transactions per second speed. It's got fantastic cost per transaction. I think it's like 0.006 of a cent for a transaction, so it's even cheaper than Stellar Lumens. And but the tokenomics are fantastic. So it's only a 30 million full mint for Elrond. 30 million coins will only ever be in circulation, and we've already got 22 million already out. So it's mostly already fully minted. The inflation rate, there is going to be an inflation rate over the next 10 years. But the more that Elrond is utilized as a network, you burn tokens. So against the inflation, you're burning the tokens, like with what's happening with Ethereum. So the likelihood is that Elrond will never actually hit its 30 million total mint, total supply. So it's got the store of value, like Bitcoin has. It's got the scarcity, and it's got the fantastic technology, like Ethereum. So it's basically Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ethereum 2 in one cryptocurrency. And that's why I really like it. I really like it. And it's currently at about $46, $47 at the moment. And it has gone as high as $540. And that was cutting short its trajectory. I think that Elrond could easily go into the four-figure club. And I think that because of its scarcity and because of its deflationary elements over time, this will easily go over 2,000. So many people are talking about Elrond. It's got great adoption. It's got the Mayor Exchange. They've bought Utrust. So they're really trying to establish themselves as like a unicorn, like a mega business in cryptocurrency. So it's got so many properties I love about it. So that would turn 30,000 into $3 million. And then the last one is a very unique play, and that is Helium. So Helium is basically looking to connect the world's, internets, basically, so that you've got a decentralized internet going on. It's basically the crypto version of Starlink, which is what Elon Musk is bringing internet to the whole world. But everybody gets a slice of the pie being part of the Helium network. If you have a Helium hotspot, you get rewards. You can mine cryptocurrencies with a Helium hotspot. And it's a very exciting, it's a very innovative cryptocurrency. There's only one which seems relatively similar. That's Airwave, which hasn't come out yet. Helium, otherwise, has that first mover advantage. It's got monopoly of all money of anybody who wants to be part of the infrastructure sector in cryptocurrency. Helium's got it. I think Stratos is also partially a play, but mainly it's Helium. Helium has got it. And that's why I'm putting 15,000 into Helium. So Helium is already nearly halfway there, actually. It's already gotten down to $3.50. And I foresee that it's probably going to go to $100. Like it went to, what did Elron go to? I think it went to about $50, I want to say. Where's my all-time high index? There we go. Yeah, $55 this has gotten to. We'll never get close to this again. But I think that now it's moved on to Solana as well. It's probably going to be better. Actually, probably have some downtime now I think about it. But it's gonna be it's a faster network. Solana's a faster network, so it could probably deal with with Helium's issues better than Ethereum did. Ethereum obviously caused them. So I think that Helium could do incredibly well next period, particularly as 5G becomes more of a thing, because crypto has always been about banking the unbanked, and Helium could be about connecting the unconnected. I really like the idea of it, and I think that because it's literally monopolizing the 5G internet sector in cryptocurrency, that it's going to move it'll probably exceed this bull prediction. So I think it'll have fantastic multiplier potential from $1.50. So I'll put 15,000, that would turn it into $1 million. It'd be pretty good investment. Pretty good investment. So there we are. I think that's where I'm going to leave it because... Oh, no, actually, hold on. Yeah, because from Helium downwards is the low caps, basically. These are the cryptocurrencies that are my more risky plays. And this is actually going to be one of the more exciting elements to see because they are smaller. They are smaller investments, but potentially much better gains. But it's more of a risk, hence why I'm putting the lion's share of my money into cryptocurrencies which have the multiplier potential, but are not really going to go anywhere. They're not likely to die, be rug pulled, be Ponzi schemes, be hacked, have bad actors, etc. Right, let me get back to the chat. Elon should buy Helium. He probably will, and that's the potential. When you buy cryptocurrencies like Sandbox, Decentraland, Helium, that are the equivalents of what we've got in the mainstream world, but showing fantastic user adoption in cryptocurrency, they've got all the potential for acquisition. That's something that the crypto market has not yet seen, which is mainstream business acquiring crypto businesses. So we've got crypto businesses acquiring other crypto businesses, like we've got Elrond acquiring Utrust and other examples, I'm sure. But we have not got many mainstream businesses taking or buying out or looking to, buying out and looking to take control away of these decentralized entities. We haven't had much of that. And I think that if Meta was to do well as an ecosystem, as a business, then it should buy Sandbox or Decentraland because they are basically buying the future. They are buying a decentralized, governance-based ecosystem. So they could buy the entity, I'm sure, of Decentraland. They can't necessarily change it because it's governance-based, but they could be the people that own it and get all the profits from it, I suppose. So that's something that if you're investing in this period, you can just free ride all of these potential narratives in the future. Like, you never know. Elon is very keen on cryptocurrencies. He likes cryptocurrencies. He likes exciting ones. He obviously likes memes. But as the space gets more serious, he may pay attention to something like helium. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Illuvium sounds pumpable. It definitely does. Is anyone shorting in this market? I think the majority of people are shorting. Because I think that what's happening with Bitcoin right now is not necessarily being reflected what's happening in the economy right now and the dollar strength, the Dixie strength, is not being reflected in Bitcoin at all. So I think people are shorting. Hey, Crypto Chrissy, good to see you. I'm glad that you could stop by. What have I missed? You've missed shitloads, but you can always look back on it. Very curious about helium. Bad press recently. Exactly, and I said this at the time. When it was $3, I said this at exactly the time. I said use the negative articles to buy it low. Because, all of a sudden, next day, when it like pumps 2x, so helium went from 350 to basically 550 in 24 hours. And that's because people sold the bad news, and that allowed people like me, capitalists, to buy when everybody was fearing. So yeah, helium's very good, and I think and Solana's had bad press as well. Buy when people are talking bad about it. That's what I would say. Don't buy when everybody's talking good about it. That is a counter signal. Best show in town. Thanks, Super, for being this transparent and genuine. No problem. Is there a way to re-listen to these streams? Yeah, essentially just watch it back. Once it's over, you can watch it back. I love this presentation format and I'm taking notes. Nice one, Jerry. You learning from me? That is a first. Yeah, Jerry, if you could have a stream afterwards, that would be brilliant. It'd be good to be able to raid someone decent. I think the last 2 streams I've raided were dog shit. I looked afterwards and I was like, oh god, I wish I hadn't bothered. Oh yeah, make sure you edit back your Solana. Yeah, good question. Good point. Good point, Jez. Let me just do that right now. There we are. Back to what it should be. Elon is involved with Mars. He is. He's trying to bring what's the word? Civilization to Mars. Colonize Mars. That's it. Big squeeze up coming soon, then dump next year. I don't think the dump's going to be next year. I think the dump's going to continue this year. Oh, do you know about Mars crypto? I don't look at it. Oh, wait, hold on. I might know about Mars. Is it the mining coin? The Ethereum. Is it like Ethereum or whatever? Yeah, it's like to get exposure to the hash rate. I'm not interested in this shit. And neither's anybody else, unless there is another Mars that you mean. Is it this one? No, I doubt it's that one either. I'm not sure when I can stream next because of a hurricane coming to Florida. Ah, no. Oh, no. That is shitty. That is the bad thing about Florida, is that the hurricanes are they're pretty terrifying, I should imagine. But I think it's pretty normal, isn't it, for the people of Florida to have hurricanes? Everdome is not in my list, but I do think that Everdome could do well. Could do pretty well, actually. It already made me 100x. Maybe you can rate them. Maybe you can rate them to me playing CS:GO. Maybe one day. Maybe. 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 Who knows? We'll find out afterwards. But can you have a look at Rune? Yeah, I will have a look at Rune then. I'll have a look at Rune. I like looking at cryptocurrencies that I may have overlooked. Elrond was one I overlooked for many years. So Rune has already got 66% minted. That's good. It means that it's not going to have... It's not going to have incredible inflation over time. Oops. Sorry to IO. Let me have a look and see if there's any tokenomics information on Rune here. Metrics. Supply. Inflation rate 8.6%. I don't know if that's true. It might be lower. I've seen some of them on here are quite high. Yeah. So anyway, let me have a look at the investors. No one good, to be fair. Let me have a look and see if Cypher Hunter has any better information. Rune. There we are, full chain. Coin 98. Nothing great, actually, is there? Yeah, they've got incredible metrics. Actually, it's not that incredible. It's a tenth, so it's the volume is just under a tenth of the market cap. But it's still high volume, though. So let's have a look and see. So on Binance... Oh, BNB chain. So my understanding of Rune is that it's infrastructure. Decentralized and autonomous cross-chain liquidity network. It's just a nodes platform, basically. It's decentralized cryptocurrency liquidity via a network of nodes and ecosystem products. So it's not an infrastructure then. Doesn't look like an infrastructure at all. It's like a multi-chain. So it's a little bit like Moonbeam, basically. But not as good. I don't know. Maybe I've got it wrong. I'll probably have to look into it. But on the face of it, given that you can only go on someone's shop front, that's not a great shop front, I've got to say. So don't quite know where the liquidity comes from. Let me have a look where it's trading. Or it's on Binance. It says it all, really. Right. Are your target sell prices happening in the next bull run or multiple cycles? When I decide, to be honest. You know, it's kind of like a lottery ticket. You know, some of these, it's like a lottery ticket, okay? So, if I buy, let's say I buy at 500. Let's say scenario comes, I buy at $500. And let's change that to 500, because I think that could be likely. That would be a 50x. Let's say I bought at $500, and it went up to 25k next bull run, right? I've made myself 2.5 million. That's nice. It's nice, right? But let's assume that I hold, and then I sell it, and I never buy back into it because I already bought at the best price at $500. I'm never going to get that again. So I may just reallocate it or redistribute it to another altcoin and never have exposure to Ethereum again, right? Because that's what I would do. Because if I've already taken the hit, selling it, paying taxes on it, why buy it again, right? So if I had it for one cycle, 2.5 million, fine. Eventually, Ethereum will achieve this more than likely. In which case, that would be 10 million. So it's kind of like, you know, do I want moderate gains? So do I want the gains from 4 numbers, or do I want the gains from 6 numbers? And most of the time, I want the gains from 6 numbers. So if you have bought in, then and you know the price is never going to go back to what it was, and you're happy to hold, then hold it for something like Ethereum. For something like Velas, that could have a single cycle worth, right? In which case, I'd sell it after the first cycle. Because you never know if it's going to come back, if it's going to last another 4 years. Ethereum, you know, will last. So it's on a case-by-case basis. It's on, does this coin have the potential for longevity? Is the user adoption high? Is the developers high? If it is, then these systems carry on. Then people aren't just going to pivot. Right? So they'll carry on. So it's a case of, do you want a lottery ticket for 4 numbers? Yeah, I got good gains. Or do you want a lottery ticket for 6 numbers where you like make gains? You don't have to work again. You don't have to ever look at coin market cap again. You don't have to look at anything again. All you have to do is just look at the holiday brochures and say, where am I going on holiday? Look at the yacht magazines. Which one should I buy? A Grand Yacht, Super Yacht, Nemesis Yacht, whatever, right? That's really what you want to be talking about. So those who delay gratification the longest get to be the wealthiest. Simple as that. Richard Hart talks multiple times about when he used to mine 50 bitcoins every batch when he was mining Bitcoin. That's how he got rich. He was already rich apparently, but that's how he got super, super rich. Because he got it, acquired it at a ridiculous price. He just held on to it. He doesn't ever have to sell it. He can just release little bits. You know? Do I want to cash out, let's say best case scenario, 2.5 million? 2.5 million. What can I buy with 2.5 million? I could probably buy like a 70 square meter apartment in Monaco. That's it. Gone. Right? Whereas, if I hold on to it, then I'd only have to, if I held on to it till it went to 100,000, then I'd only have to sell a quarter of it to buy that apartment and still have 3/4 left to buy whatever. To buy a McLaren Senna or something like that. So it all depends on your appetite, really. I'm happy to be patient. I've been hodling for 5 years. I can hodl for another 10. And just keep releasing bits and bits. How many zeros are on UFO Gaming? I think at this present time it's five zeros. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, at this present time it's 6 zeros. And then 1 9. But I'm hoping for this to go to 7 zeros and 8. It'll probably go a little bit lower, but I don't know. Why did you black box those coins? So I can reveal them later, basically. You mentioned Matic when it was in the early stages. What do you think is the next project to do as good as Matic? Well, I think that Moonbeam is one of the likely ones. I also think Optimism could do really well. And ones that haven't come out yet are Arbitrum, Sui, and Aptos. And there is another one which isn't on this list. Aleph Zero looks like it could be pretty good as well. Aleph Zero looks like it could actually be a Matic. But as far as I'm concerned, it's too... So let me have a look at... Oh no, you won't see it anyway. There was no market cap data for Matic on this date. So you can't really see it. But I think that Aleph Zero looks pretty promising, but not at its current price. So yeah, I would probably get into Aleph Zero about 20 cents. It's pretty. I mean, look, the market cap's pretty. I mean, the volume's pretty dog shit compared to its market cap. So I can only deduce that most people are hodling it at this point, but it's going to get diluted over the course of time. Like I think that most of the dilution happens in the first year. So yeah, I think it's going to get diluted. That looks good as well. So those are the ones I would say. Super, love your Twitch broadcast. What are your thoughts on the US executive order on crypto assets? Good question. I thought it was a bit of nothing, really. Like, I need to look into it in a bit more detail, but basically they're just saying the same old shit. Need to establish protocols and things so that investors are safe. Need to go after bad actors. Need to establish a CBDC coin, and all that. Like, it was just boring. We need to foster innovation. Need to be the leading edge of digital currency. I mean, it's like good and it's also like a bit meh at the same time. What do you think about Reef and Ali? I don't know Ali. What the hell's Ali? Reef, I don't know. I do know about. I don't really give a shit about. I don't know what this is. I don't know if you mean this or this. I think I imagine. No, it's not that. It can't be that. Not if it's $38. So not a lot, if I'm honest with you. Axelar's not out, is it? No, it's not out yet. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, the good thing about the economy that we're in right now is that, Sui and Aptos are probably going to come out, shoot up like ApeCoin did, and then they're probably going to shoot right back down again. So you either get it as it comes out on its opening price, because if you get it when it multiplies, don't bother, and then wait for it to come down, and then you might still get a good price. I don't think we're going to be out of the woods for a while. I'm gearing myself up for us being in a bear market for at least another year and a half. Yeah, that's how long I'm gearing up for this bear market. XRP, I mean, XRP is good if you kind of don't really have any principles, really. XRP is really the unprincipled investor's choice. Like XRP, comes into So we've got this ISO 20022 standard coming in November 2022. And it's basically a way in which cryptocurrencies, or should I say blockchain technology, is integrated into money transfers. Like the Swift money transfer, right? Because the current existing financial system is antiquated, so they're looking to utilize blockchain, and Ripple is already part of this Swift, what's it called, accreditation thing. So Ripple and Stellar, I think Algorand and XDC and IOTA are already confirmed, and so Ripple is potentially on the verge of being deemed a commodity. It's potentially on the verge of being one of these ISO blah blah blahs, and it's been price suppressed for years. It's not really moved. So you've got all of this bullishness just waiting to be unlocked, right? So I think that XRP could do very well. I don't think it's going to do extremely well. I don't think it's going to exceed $10, which makes it less than a 20x. Just based on the supply itself. I just can't see this being a $500 billion cryptocurrency in the next bull run. It could happen. I just don't really see it. And I just think it's a bit of it's a bit of a centralized shitcoin personally. But you will make some money from it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on XRP. HBAR is rumored. I don't think it's officially yet. Will you do a video for Sui and Aptos when the time comes to invest? Possibly, yeah. I think, yeah, probably. Probably be beforehand. Sui and Solana has potential. Fast transaction ecosystem, well backed. Yeah, it has potential. Right, I think that is it for today. Thank you all of you for joining. 240 of you. This is one of the best streams that I have had. If you haven't yet, make sure that you do follow. If you've got Amazon Prime, make sure that you subscribe with a Prime subscription, because that means that you don't get to watch the annoying ads. And at the same time, it's a bit of support for me, I suppose. That's it. Cult's probably a pretty good one as well. I don't necessarily think it's got the potential to be one of two. It's a gamble. It could shoot to the moon, or it could go to nothing pretty much. So it all depends. Like the longer the bear market continues with Cult, the more it's just gonna get basically rinsed to nothing. Whereas the coins that I've actually got in my list are very likely to deliver massive gains over the long term. Right, people, thank you very much. I've loved you being here. Make sure that you turn your notifications on so that you are around next time that I am live. You don't want to miss these. They are, I hope, very, very useful to you, at least just for hearing the rationale behind my investment decisions so that you can then apply them to your own. But in the meantime, Bitcoin's kind of hanging on. I expect further falling. I expect for, there not to be much left to go of this bear market in terms of more of a percentage drop. I imagine the duration's going to be a while, but I don't imagine that we're going to be seeing it getting much worse after the next 6 to 8 months. But you never know, it could be. But yeah, but either way, you have seen what I like, why I like it, how much I'm looking to apportion into it, and next time I'm going to talk about more of the riskier plays. So, people, let me have a look and see if there's anyone worth raiding. No, there isn't. It doesn't look like. So, I might not on this occasion. But, yeah, anyway, but thank you guys for coming. Buddy Holidays, Carry On Crypto, Best Lulu FTW, Silver Bells, Suppo Boy, Lindsay, Jerry, Reggie, Salve Barber, Patrick Stock. Glad you were all here and turned up, and that you keep turning up. I love seeing the regulars. It's my favourite. Okay, people, till next time, I love you and appreciate you. You are the best. Team Suppo, you are the best. And I shall see you next time. It is lights out. All out.